just words. Good evening and welcome to Act America. I'm your host, E.W. Helmick. If you're joining us for the second night of our broadcast, then congratulations. That means you took our first action item, which was to tune in on a regular basis and watch what it is we had to say. Now, a reminder, Act America was put together and designed for this purpose, to give you, the American people, an action item, something that you can take and actually utilize on a regular basis so that you can affect the current change which is crippling our nation. So it's Act America. Thank you for joining. I hope we have families watching tonight with kids, because tonight I have an action item that kids can actually participate in. Let's get started. I'm reminded on this Memorial Day Eve that there's really probably no action item I can suggest, and nothing I can do or you can do that is greater than the sacrifice that the men and women of our armed services have made for our freedom in this country and for freedom around the world. I've never fought in a war, and I probably never will fight in a war except for perhaps this one, Act America. I'm reminded when I was a child, I would travel with my father up and down Colfax Boulevard in Denver, Colorado. And we would be driving a convertible Imperial, shiny Imperial convertible, and we had the back seat full of flags. And we would put those flags up and down the median, all the way down the boulevard. And we'd get to the end and turn around, and then we'd drive back. With the sun on our face and the wind in our hair, we'd be hanging out as kids, looking as far down the boulevard as we could see to see those flags. Now, I probably don't really remember why we were doing it. I know it was Memorial Day, but I don't think I understood the significance. But I will tell you, there was something that stirred deep in my heart as I looked down at that row, as far as I could see, waving flags. I want to read you a few things tonight, so follow along if you wouldn't mind, just briefly. On January 23rd, 1907, the Supreme Court heard a case. It was Halter versus Nebraska, and the case was this. It involved an act to prevent and punish the desecration of the flag. Justice Harlan, in stating the significance of the emblem, said this: "From the earliest periods in the history of human race, banners, standards, and ensigns have been adopted as symbols of the power and history of the peoples who bore them. It is not then remarkable that the American people, acting through the legislative branch of the government, early in their history prescribed a flag as symbolical of the existence of the sovereignty of the nation." The sovereignty of the nation. A little more, he went on and said, "For that flag, every true American has not simply an appreciation, but a deep affection. No American nor any foreign-born person who enjoys the privileges of American citizenship ever looks upon it without taking pride in the fact that he lives under this free government." Pride. Pride in what we call the American flag. Well, I'll tell you what, there was no pride on March 27, 2006, some time ago, when high school students from Pioneer, California, and Whittier high schools hung the American flag beneath that of the Mexican flag, and they hung the American flag upside down. This is old news, but it's a reminder to me that there's no pride in that sick act. It's a reminder to me, as I studied over the past few weeks why we fly the flag and when we fly the flag and what the purpose is of the flag in American history, that there's two very definite camps on the American flag. The first camp is, hopefully, most of my viewers tonight. Many of us fit into the human race that Harlan talks about, the people who prescribed a flag as symbolical of the existence and sovereignty of the nation. But there's a second camp. And that second camp believes that the flag represents tyranny, militarism, and arrogance. Well, this is Act America, so I have action items for both camps tonight. So for the first camp, the people who think that our flag represents tyranny, militarism, and arrogance, get ready. Here's your action item. Move. Leave the country. There's plenty of flags out there that are pretty, that represent countries that are very gentle. Their societies are kind. That's your action item. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pause just for a moment and give you time to pack and get out. Okay. So now that they're gone, let's give the majority their action item. And trust me, you are the majority, even though you've been told you're not. You're the majority because you believe the flag represents justice, freedom, and compassion. Here's your action item. Fly the flag. Not because it's Memorial Day, not because Independence Day is just around the corner. Fly the flag because of what it represents. Fly the flag because of who you are and because of your freedom. Can you imagine flying the flag on every home up and down your block? Can you imagine what it would look like in mainstream America if on all the buildings and all the businesses flags were flying? It would be a reminder of who we are, that we're the majority. It would be a reminder of our freedom. It would be an incredible reminder of the men and the women that have fought and whose lives have been taken to save our freedoms around the world. That's your action item. Buy a flag and fly it. Don't buy one flag, buy two flags. And then I encourage you to actually make it an educational moment for your kids. There's a great website out there, www.ushistory.org. Again, www.ushistory.org. If you go there, you'll see some things about the history of the flag, why the flag flies, when to fly the flag. It'll give you some rules about what times you're supposed to fly the flag, and some purposes behind that. It'll also, there's a great speech for the United States Air Force when they fold the flag. So I encourage you to take a look at that and study that. Jeff Jacoby, a columnist with the Globe, wrote this: "Why for some people do the ugliest things in the world always seem to come in red, white, and blue? Yes, in 231 years of independence, the United States has often fallen short of its values and ideals. But those values and ideals are what the flag embodies, not the failure to live up to them. To salute the flag is not to proclaim that America can do no wrong. It is to believe in its great capacity to do right. People, it's your right. It's your freedom. It's your responsibility. I'm E.W. Helmick. It's time to act, America. Good night, and God bless."